What's going on, all my lovely people? It's your boy Damien Dupee, your #1 off-market land specialist. Hyper focused on them infill lots. You are now tuned into the We Are Land Specialists channel, where I'm your host, Damien Dupee, and this channel is all about finding vacant land, flipping vacant land, and assigning vacant land. So if that's something you're interested in, you are now in the right place. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and I would be greatly appreciated. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite dispo strategies in when listing on the MLS goes wrong. Okay. All right. So this is, if you guys don't know about it, in some markets, including Charlotte, North Carolina, you can flat fee on the MLS without owning the property. There's actually a box on the MLS where it says seller does not yet own. I do have a plug that I've been using for years. And for the last 4-ish years, I have had no issues, no kickback. However, I've been hearing a lot of people, wholesalers specifically, saying that every time they try to list properties on the MLS, they have agents go back to the seller and try to steal their deal. I mean, the whole nine. So actually, I just recently experienced something like that. And it was kind of blew me away. So I'm going to tell you what I learned from this. I listed the property on the MLS. I had got the property for $25. I had listed it for $45. The comps was $50. So I listed it $5,000 under the comps. First day I put it on the market, I get a call from the seller. And the seller says, hey, I got a call from this broker saying that my property is on the MLS. And I thought you just was going to buy it. I didn't know you were going to put it on the MLS. I said, yes, sir. That's actually one of our disposition strategies where we get you the highest and best offer. That's why we're able to offer such a premium for your lot, because we're able to dispo it on the MLS to an end buyer. And he basically says, listen, I'm not mad at you, but I kind of don't want to do the MLS thing. Do you mind removing it? So again, I had to pay, between me and you guys, I had to pay $200 to list the property on the MLS. And basically, I had to remove it. Okay. And what I'm wanting to show you from this is the power of off market. If I was moving off market in silence, I wouldn't have this issue. But since I opened it up to the World Wide Web, again, I got some hateration. So the lessons of the story is this. When you are listing on the MLS and you do not own a property, you have to be prepared for kickback. And I didn't understand this at first, but now I understand it. And, it's just like, what do? Keep it moving. Keep it moving. So what I'm going to do for y'all today is I'm going to drop you a plug. If you want to learn how to list in the North Carolina area on flat fee, you got a property with some juice in it, I may have someone I can refer you to. However, I don't recommend this for a beginner because, one, you can get in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble is, some sellers can possibly sue you, for signing a listing agreement, and they didn't sign a listing agreement, even though on your contract, it does have, you can market the property on the MLS. My contract does not have that. I did have that on my contract, but I did remove it. But two, you can get your broker in a lot of trouble, So you got to be mindful when you're doing these moves on the MLS. If you're not familiar with the MLS, you just want to be mindful of how you're moving, because at the end of the day, you're hoping to get a buyer and to close the property. That's the whole goal of listing on the MLS. Okay. So there is 3 things that I've learned from, listing on the MLS. And it's one, that yes, you can get a buyer quickly, but you do have to pay a buyer's agent commission. Okay. So that's the only catch to the MLS. You are giving up some of your spread. 2, if you do not have a title company in place that handles your deals, it can be very easy to get jerked around. And what I mean by that is, if the buyer chooses a title company that's not assignment friendly and investment friendly, your deal can get tied up and you can be in Ouchville for a while. Okay. So you want to be mindful of that. You want to be super, super mindful of that. And 3, you can get bullied in this transaction. On a previous deal, I kind of got bullied it was on the MLS. I'll tell you about this deal. I listed the deal on the MLS. I think I got the deal for $34. I listed it for 50 and got an offer for 63,000. We went under contract. We went under escrow. However, the seller had a lease on a property with a cell phone tower, and he was in a 15-year lease, and he couldn't get out the lease, so which makes the sale no good. So as me, the middleman, I'm looking like the seller, but I'm not the seller. I'm the one listing the property. I'm the one signing off on the offers. So what happened was, ladies and gentlemen, when I figured out that the seller could not sell the property, I had to cancel the contract. And those people were not trying to cancel the contract. Hear me out. They saying they incurred $3,000 in damages and, basically wanted me to fork up $3,000, which I did. But I'm here to tell you as a lesson that sometimes you lose money trying to flat fee on the MLS. By the grace of God, I did reach out to the seller, told him I incurred $3,000 in expenses, and he's supposed to be reimbursing me. But I'll let you know how that worked out. So the moral of the story is your disposition strategy is important, but just make sure it's not costing you headache, it's not costing you time, and just make sure that you're working with someone who is experienced that can help you navigate these pitfalls that you can run into in the business. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you got some value from this. Again, if you haven't subscribed, comment, like, share by now, please do. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Salute, and I'm gone.